Have you heard the story of the scientist who is behind more than 10 discoveries and never got credit for them? No, this was the other version of his story. Story of the scientist who is famous to be unlucky. Let's hear my version of it and then you can have your opinion about it. Hello everyone, my name is Majid and welcome to Topics Basics. As you see from the title of the video, it's about Carl Wilhelm Scheele, Swedish-German chemist who was born in 1742 in a city called Stralsund. His city was located in far north of Germany but was under Swedish jurisdiction at the time. When he was 15 years old, he moved to Gothenburg to be a trainee, to learn and work as a pharmacist. Later, he moved to Malmö, south of Sweden, and after that to Uppsala, Stockholm region in the middle of the country. Later in his career, he moved to another city called Köping. When he came to the middle of the country, he had a lot of knowledge and experience. As a result, he successfully established himself and got closer to academic circle. After that, his discoveries came along. He discovered tartaric acid, which is natural in many fruits like grapes, and many other acids like lactic acid, hydrogen sulfide, etc. But his discoveries of oxygen, chlorine, and molybdenum are the most discussed ones, related to him being unfortunate. Let's discuss them one by one. When Scheele discovered oxygen, it took him 6 years to publish his results. But Joseph Priestley, English scientist who was working on the same topic at the same time, discovered it 3 years after him, but published it faster and got immediate notice. Nowadays, they both share credit for oxygen discovery. Scheele described his experiment and his result in his only book, Chemical Treatise on Air and Fire, and named Oxygen Fire Air. He is one of the first pioneer scientists that discovered air is composed of two parts. The one that sustains combustion, fire air, being oxygen, the one that does not, fuel air. Then it comes his chlorine discovery. When he was reporting on chlorine discovery, he mistakenly thought it's an oxide and named it muriaticum, originated from muriatic acid, the old name of hydrochloric acid. But decades later, Davy found out there is no oxygen in it. It's only an element and named it chlorine. So the name of chlorine comes from Davy's work, but the whole credit for chlorine discovery goes to Scheele himself and his work on discovery of molybdenum. When he was working on mineral molybdenum, he found out there is an element and named it molybdenum. But he could not isolate the element, and as a result, he could not properly report the property of the element. Later on, Peter Jacob Hjelm, another Swedish scientist, he could isolate molybdenum through chemical reduction and got credit for discovery of molybdenum. But considering only 4 years window between the two work and they are both from Sweden, one can imagine huge contribution from Scheele. Another controversial discovery in his story is discovery of a green pigment famous as Scheele green. He got even his name on it, a derivative of copper arsenide which was very popular to be used for coloring wallpaper and clothes. Nobody knew about toxicity of arsenic and unfortunately it got many people killed. It is also reported that Napoleon Bonaparte died because of Scheele green. Okay, to wrap up his story, Scheele was a pharmacist and had a lab that was made for pharmaceutical studies. But he did all aspects of chemistry there, organic chemistry and inorganic chemistry. One problem that he had was that his lab was not equipped with high temperature furnaces. As a result, he had some problem while working with minerals and isolation of different elements. But that made him unlucky? I don't think so. I think he was brilliant and had huge impact in chemistry development in the 18th century. Just by looking different places that he moved, one can find out that he consciously put himself in a position to learn more and basically have a better chance to improve. And he certainly improved. He constantly conducted original experiments in his short lifetime. He died at the age of 43. But yes, some of his projects suffered from misstep or lack of final touch that prevented him from benefiting. But considering his time, that was 18th century, he was a revolutionary figure. As mentioned in previous videos, Scientists were moving from being philosophers to being more specific chemists or physicists in the 18th century. Then in late 18th century and 19th century, things were exploded and lots of discoveries came along, thanks to scientists like him, Carl Wilhelm Scheele, Swedish-German scientist who has his statue in this park, Garden in Stockholm, Sweden.
It's green! Don't touch it! Ha 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 ha!
What do you think? Was he lucky or unlucky? Swedish-German chemist who discovered a couple of acids, has his name on discovery of 2 elements in periodic table, and helped in the discovery of a couple of more. And more importantly, he move around, meet new people, and learn from them. I don't see any more luck in life. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.